Welcome to Ideal Fish. I'm Eric Pedersen. I'm the president and founder. We're in a 63,000 square foot former manufacturing building that contains nothing but large tanks, tens and thousands of gallons of water. We grow a species called bronzino, which is very commonly found throughout grocery stores and restaurants in the Northeast. It's an ocean-going fish, but we grow it on land in what is called a recirculating aquaculture system.
Hi, I'm Andy Russell. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Ideal Fish, and I handle all of the day-to-day operations of the business, sales and marketing, and processing here in Waterbury, Connecticut.
So the fish are actually hatched at a hatchery in France that sends them via airmail to us overnight.
Every 2 months, we bring in 35 to 40,000 fish in from France at about 0.2 grams, or the size of your fingernail, and we put them in one of these 3 quarantine tanks where we vaccinate them, test them for pathogens or other parasites, and get looked at by a vet.
And we grow them for about 4 months, and then after they have gotten to a certain size, we put them into one of these large grow-out tanks. Each tank contains somewhere between 15,000, 17,000 fish at one time, depending upon their size. And they live here for about another 7 or 8 months until they get to be somewhere around a pound, well, maybe a pound and a quarter. So you hear a lot about aquaculture, and for many people that means growing fish in sea cages or in ponds and lagoons. We're doing something very different. It's closed containment, and that means that the water stays in our system and it rotates through each of the tanks and then through a very elaborate filtration system where the water is cleaned, disinfected, reconditioned, reoxygenated, and then returned to the fish.
So this is the water treatment for our grow-out system, which clearly is a lot larger than that in our quarantine system, but the unit operations are the same.
And as you can see, this part of our process is very, very technology intensive, and it's where a lot of the magic happens. It's where the water becomes clean and disinfected and suitable for our fish to live happy and comfortable lives.
These drum filters take out the large particles. The foam fractionator takes out the suspended solids. We then remove and oxygenate the ammonia compounds using this media. We then off-gas the carbon dioxide, reoxygenate the water, disinfect it with ultraviolet light, and pump it back into the tanks.
I'm often asked how our fish, compare to wild fish. The fact of the matter is that farm fish actually taste better. They are raised in an environment where there's less stress, where they are fed a diet they are meant to eat, where they are cultivated in a way that brings out their best attributes, whether it's texture or flavor or size, so that it's much better suited for the American palate. And one particular part of recirc aquaculture that I think really differentiates this method of fish producing more than any other is our ability to recover and recapture the waste products. So for example, this piece of equipment here is known as a vacuum drum filter. And what it does is it actually removes the uneaten food and the feces from the water and converts it into a compostable material that can be used by field farmers as an alternative to petrochemical-based fertilizers, so that the byproducts of producing our fish now become the nutrient inputs for producing corn, soybeans, tomatoes, all other types of agricultural products.
I'm here in the processing room where we're dealing with today's harvest of bronzino. One of our team members here is scaling today's harvest. Some of our customers purchase fish as whole fish. Some of our customers prefer filleted fish. So right here, one of our team is filleting today's harvest, and it will be in a restaurant tomorrow. This is one of today's harvested bronzino. Beautiful color. It's been cleaned, scaled, and ready to go out to a customer.
So our mission here at Ideal Fish is to grow a healthy, sustainable, local seafood product that Americans can consume with confidence, knowing that their supply of seafood is secure. So our plan is to expand Ideal Fish, across the country, where we can establish facilities that are just like this, but larger, and produce, species like bronzino that are fresh and antibiotic-free and are poised to provide Americans with the kind of seafood that they really want.
We aim to be the ambassadors of sustainably raised seafood in the United States, not just of bronzino, but of all species. Having a safe, healthy, fresh, local supply of seafood is critical to the future of the food supply here in America.